Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. If you're new here, my name's Brian Craig. Make sure you subscribe and everyone like the video. You'll enjoy this channel if you're new here, I promise you. And we've got a lot to cover on the show this morning. And I'm just starting my coffee, which is pretty tasty. Yeah. I know I was watching the chat before I started the stream and I saw people saying, the Bidens aren't going to be indicted for anything. Nothing's going to happen. Normally, I would say that is true, but not in the case of Hunter Biden. All kinds of things are going to happen. We got a lot to talk about on the stream today. We're going to cover a whole bunch of stuff, and your calls certainly are welcome. The number to call in is pinned at the top of the chat room if you're watching live. You can call in and participate. Now, this story here, this was from Jesse Watters last night. Jesse Watters is hearing that Hunter Biden will be indicted by his father and will pardon him. And it's a little more detailed than that. And I'll tell you, normally this isn't something that I would jump on and start talking about because I, like a lot of you, figure, these Washington insiders, especially a Democrat, they've got complete immunity to do whatever they want and all this stuff. We're in a different realm right now with Hunter Biden, and this all stems from The Laptop from Hell, the title of Miranda Devine's book, and that laptop has so many Biden family crimes in it, and I want to get into what Jesse Watters said because he got a little more detailed. And last Saturday, when I was at the Trump event last Saturday here in South Florida in Fort Lauderdale, Dan Bongino came out and spoke early in the day, and he was talking about the word is among these insiders that Hunter Biden will be indicted. And that the reason that the New York Times, this was Dan Bongino's thinking, Dan Bongino said the reason that the New York Times acknowledged the laptop and finally confirmed that it was real, which it was already confirmed, but confirmed it to their liberal friends, is to get the public, in particular the Democrats, accustomed to the idea that Hunter was going to be indicted. This is a common thing I've been talking about a lot this week. This is most common with Democrats. They put stories out there a little bit early before things really happen so that when they do happen, it doesn't seem like any big deal, that people think that this is just old news. So Jesse Watters is now the second person in 7 days, although actually 6 because this was last night. This is the second credible person in a week who says that they have heard from their sources that Hunter Biden is going to be indicted and pardoned by his father. But we have a little extra thing here from Jesse that I thought was interesting. I'll go through it here. And your thoughts on this are certainly welcome. So here we go. Jesse Watters is hearing that Hunter Biden will be indicted and his father will pardon him. And this is from Mediaite, which, is liberal. So there's some analysis here from the liberal perspective, but that's okay. We can weed through that. During Friday's edition of Jesse Watters Primetime, the Fox News host suggested Hunter Biden will be indicted and then probably pardoned by his father. President Joe Biden, he further stated, will not run for re-election in 2024. And, now, this is some interesting stuff because I believe that if this happens, if Hunter Biden is indicted and he is pardoned by Joe, which of course will happen, I think that this, so far as Joe Biden announcing if he's going to run for re-election or not, will be decided based on the reaction to that. And I think that the media's reaction will be supportive of Joe Biden pardoning Hunter. That would be my guess, wouldn't you? I think the media will come out there and celebrate this and say this was the right thing to do and a great dad and a great leader, all this right-wing harassment, which we know it's all true and they know it's all true. But who will be their nominee if this happens? But if he does announce that he's not running, Joe Biden, who will be the nominee? Will it be Mayor Pete? It won't be Kamala. Will it be Governor Cuomo? And this is back to Mediaite's, left-wing site. Jesse Waters structured the claim as to avoid citing any source or sources in particular. We all see that Emperor Joe Biden has no clothes, Jesse Waters said. Joe Biden isn't perfect. Joe Biden's not making anybody happy. He's not delivering for Republicans or Democrats or anybody. Well, depends. Maybe the CCP. And his polling numbers are terrible. Democrats are about to get wiped out, and they know it. So, yeah, the indictment is, he can't pardon Hunter until an indictment comes through. So I would say, now this will sound a little strange to people, and maybe it is, what I'm about to say is a little odd, but in a way, I think Joe Biden wants Hunter indicted so he can pardon him. You can't pardon someone if they've not been charged with a crime yet. So and once he's out of office, Hunter's on his own, and he's got so much scummy stuff on that laptop. Hunter Biden's future would be in jeopardy if his dad couldn't pardon him. So I think Joe wants Hunter indicted so that he can pardon him. And you know what? Joe Biden and fake Dr. Jill there, they may be pushing and maneuvering to get a Hunter Biden indictment. So if we get a news sounder on television, breaking news, Hunter Biden indicted, I don't think that'll be shocking, upsetting news to the Biden family. I think that's what they want. What do you guys, does that make sense to you guys or not? Yes or no? Let me know. I think it makes sense. I haven't had all my, I just started my coffee, so it may make sense to me, but not be so coherent, right? Because I usually have had all my coffee by this point, but I just am behind today. Although I've been up for hours. Oh, man. Hold on, let me catch up here. Yeah, well, that's the way it is. So I think Jesse Waters is most definitely on to something there. No doubt about it. By the way, if you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video. That helps so much. When you like my video, it recommends this video, YouTube does, and my other videos to people that have not yet discovered my channel. And that brings new people to the stream, which is a good thing. It helps me out a lot. So I would very much appreciate that, guys. Criminals always get off. Well, the famous, rich, powerful, connected criminals always get away with it, I think is more accurate to say, right? Seems that way to me. Oh, man, I tell you. This is espresso, so I have this cup, and then I have another cup in here that I'm keeping hot, so I don't have to walk out of the room to refill my cup. Well, let me see. I might have enough to pour in here already. I cannot function without coffee. I'm really addicted to it. There we go. Awesome. Great. Oops. Good morning. Yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Yes, they are criminals. All politicians that are not in the Trump organization are basically corrupt. Isn't that a fair thing to say? It seems to be. That's why they hate Trump so much, is because he's not corrupt. He's not corruptible. And, they can't get their crooked deals through with him around. And it'll always be that way. It'll always be that way, We'll get our second MAGA president, Ron DeSantis, in 2028, and he'll carry on the non-corrupt tradition of MAGA, but there's always going to be these corrupt officials. That's the way it is. Yeah, well, Biden these days, I tell you, really checked out. Now, this is just crazy to me. Oh, let me pull this up. Let me pull this video up. It's a short video of Joe Biden. And Joe Biden on this trip, by the way, seems particularly out of this crisis. He really seems more checked out than normal, it seems to me. Listen to this. This is Biden.
This crisis also presents an opportunity.
Oh.
It's a catalyst that will drive the investments we need to double down on our clean energy goals.
Okay, so this crisis, and by a crisis, he means, you not being able to
This crisis also presents...
Yes, this crisis. You not being able to afford gasoline, inflation, making things, luxury items like food, unaffordable. This is an opportunity for them to get their green agenda through. So, this is insane. And they jumped on this so quick as opposed to just letting it happen. You got to ask yourself, and I think the answer to this question is yes. Did they cause this crisis with prices of the gallon of gas to go so high so they could get their agenda through? And of course they did. Thank you, LW. Yeah, my daughter did do a great job, didn't she? Yes. Yes. She did a great job. But
this crisis also presents an opportunity. It's a catalyst that will drive the investments we need to double down on our clean energy goals and accelerate progress toward our net zero emissions future.
Oh.
That's what the second part of this initiative is all about.
It is.
The United States and the European Union are going to work together to take concrete measures to reduce dependence on natural gas, period. This crisis also...
Okay, yeah. Well, if we want to be clean, natural, he's talking about natural gas here. That's natural. That's nature. What's wrong with something that's, from nature? They should impeach Biden. Well, I'll tell you, the thing about, both Biden and Kamala should be impeached. I've talked about this before. And when I get to some more of this audio, from Joe Biden on this insane trip that he went on to meet with the NATO leaders, he's so checked out. Is incompetence, mental incompetence, is a health issue impeachable? I don't know. But it's got to be impeachable for Kamala Harris to allow someone who's so feeble and checked out to remain in office without making a move to do something about it, which is invoke the 25th Amendment. So is Kamala Harris a co-conspirator with Jill Biden and others in the elder abuse of Joe Biden? And is elder abuse an impeachable offense? Here in Florida, because we have such an old population in Florida, elder abuse is a big deal, right? That's like that's a big deal. And it is a felony, at least in Florida. Isn't it a felony everywhere? Is it a federal crime, or it should be? Yeah, it definitely should be. So they both should be impeached, which, of course, after the election and the midterms, that would leave Kevin McCarthy as being speaker probably, and the acting president, or the president. No, he would just become the president, not acting. He would be the president. He'd be sworn in as the president. Yeah, that's right. Then he could run as Trump's running mate. What would you guys think about that? If Kevin McCarthy, as Speaker of the House, through the impeachment of Biden and Kamala, became president to finish out Sleepy Joe's term, what would you think about Kevin? I don't like Kevin McCarthy, but I'll take him over lots of other people that they're talking about. All right, we know it's not going to be Pence. But Biden's display over the weekend has been, these last few days with the NATO summit, if you want to call it that, has been pretty bad. I mean, it's been brutal, hasn't it? I mean, I think we've seen Biden in the worst we've ever seen him, quite frankly, and anything's better. I don't know if anything's better, because I think now this will sound crazy to you, but I think Kamala would be worse than Joe. And not that we're well off with Joe, but I think Kamala would be worse. She really would be worse, Oh, man. After 20 years, they couldn't manage building Afghanistan back better. That is true, with a food shortage. My wife and I have not gone to, I'm going to go today to Wal-Mart. We've not gone to, we do our shopping with the home delivery, the Instacart. And we've not been to the grocery store in a long time to go shopping. So I'm going to go to Walmart later today and see how things are. And maybe I'll make a vlog of it. And I'll look at the prices and the shelves to see what they have. I've not been inside a Walmart, especially in the grocery aisle, in months. So you guys can let me know what you've seen at your local stores. But I'm going to go to Walmart because everyone's got a Walmart. There's some other stores, like Target and things like that, groceries. But I think Walmart will be the one I'll go to and see what they have supply-wise. And also look at the prices, Well, I'm glad Trump is suing Hillary Clinton. Aren't you guys? You know, I was talking about this on the radio yesterday. See, this lawsuit with and I've got some more on this we'll get into with but we don't need to tell Bruce, we don't need to tell people where I live, if you don't mind, okay? Everyone has a huge Walmart near them, don't they? I've got there's several Walmarts near me, but one of them is like as big as a Walmart can be. I mean, it's like the biggest Walmart I've never been in a Walmart that was bigger than one of the ones. So I'll go to the super massive Walmart, make a vlog and see. I don't know what is, hey, maybe the shelves are filled. You know, I don't know. You know, I've seen some people that make videos at Walmart showing empty shelves, but maybe they're going there and showing when they haven't restocked yet. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I'll go there today. It's Saturday, busy day. I'll see what the shelves look like, but I'm more interested in what the prices look like. Yogurt? Yeah. We'll see. I'll see. I don't know if they'll like me vlogging there, but I'll be on the down low. I vlog on my cell phone, so on my iPhone, so they won't know. Yes. And then this is what I mean by Kamala could very well be impeached for allowing, is she committing a crime, Kamala, by allowing someone who she knows has lost their mental faculties to run the country, be in charge of the military, have the nuclear football? It would seem to me, that's a problem. That's a crime. She's endangering the United States and the world, Kamala Harris. Not that we'd be safer with her, but she sees Biden in much worse situations than we do. So this is in trending politics. Biden calls the Polish president an ambassador while sitting right next to him. Are you kidding me? He doesn't know who's who. And he also, with his defense secretary, called him Secretary of State yesterday. So, he's got a lot of problems here, Biden. So this is, let me see how well this audio is, because Biden's talking so low up there because his voice is really shot.
As you and I have spoken before, Mr. Ambassador.
Mr. Ambassador. He is sitting next to the president of Poland, and he called him Mr. Ambassador. So this is, now this is what I'm thinking. Does he know where he's at? Does he know where he is? Does Biden think he's somewhere in the United States and the ambassador from Poland is visiting him?
As you and I have spoken before, Mr. Ambassador, Mr. President, the single most important thing that we can do.
Is make money and get paid and sell out our offices. I mean, he's sitting next to the guy. Hey, Mike, good morning. And he made the same mistake with his defense secretary calling him the Secretary of State the other day. So this is, this talk, could Biden pardon himself? That has been a question that people have been talking about for a while, right? And that actually came up with Trump because the liberals were concerned that President Trump was going to pardon himself for their imagined crimes that he committed. And the consensus was that the president can pardon themselves. But remember, you can only pardon yourself or pardon someone if they've been charged with a crime, right? You need an indictment. You just can't say, okay, you who have not been charged, you who have not been indicted, you are forever pardoned for any crimes you may have committed that we don't know about. You understand what I mean? It doesn't work that way. You can't like give someone like immunity like that. They have to have some type of charge against them. How can Biden's handlers keep him in office after last week? Well, Kamala, who's, more concerned about her shoes, I think Kamala is scared of the job. I think she's scared of the job. I don't think she ever really realized how much responsibility there was. And then when she started getting those presidential daily briefings and seeing the amount of responsibility that comes with these jobs, I think Kamala's scared of the job. And I think that's one of the reasons why things haven't, progressed at all. I think I could be wrong about this. Yes, there is a Trump rally tonight. I'll be watching on probably Newsmax, and Real America Voice will be carrying it. That's probably where I'll watch it. I think Newsmax has been doing pretty good, but Kamala is terrified of it. And, she probably thought, this is what I'm thinking, she probably thought, Kamala, that she would be president by now, or it would be coming up around this time. Because remember, there was talk from everyone that Joe, oh no, everyone expel, yeah, he'll be president for a while, and then he'll have to resign or something, and Kamala will become president. And I think that's what went on with Kamala. She thought she would walk into the vice presidency. She'd be president after a year, maybe after 2. And then, then she started getting the briefings and got scared. No, right side will not be carrying the rally. They're on a I don't know, I wouldn't say suspension, but they're not able to stream. Well, I guess they'll be on Rumble. Right side will be on Rumble, but I don't have Rumble on my TV. So I'll probably watch on Newsmax is where I'll watch most of the rally. Fox News really ticks me off, right? They don't carry the rallies. Fox News will not carry Trump's rallies on their air, but they'll carry the Trump rallies on the Fox Nation app, which is such a cop-out. So they can say, well, we are carrying them. Not really, Well, I must say, when and Mike, remember he called me at the end of the show yesterday. He meant Don Jr. Mike was at the Trump speech last Saturday that I was at, sitting pretty much due across from me in the arena. Trump looked, spectacular. He looked spectacular. I could not, and I got up close to him. After the speech, I went up to him, and I was about, I don't know, between 5 and 10 feet away from the president. And and I mean this, he looked like he was about 45 or 50 years old. He looked he's lost a lot of weight. He's got a lot of sun, but his skin looks so good. It looks so good. I was in shock, and I've been in his presence several times, and he really, he is the only man ever to be president of the United States that is younger. And, a lot of these guys, when they get out, remember Al Gore, after 2000, lost his mind and grew a beard? Fox News is, Stephen, is the worst of all the cable news. They really are. And what makes them worse is that they're phonies. They pretend to be something they're not. Yeah, the Foo Fighter drummer. I know. And the lead guy with the Foo Fighters, whose name I could never remember, was with Nirvana. And Foo Fighters are actually scheduled to play at a music festival here in Palm Beach, right down the road from Mar-a-Lago this summer. I was thinking about going to see them, but I don't know. I don't know. If they were play some old Nirvana stuff, I might go. But I like the Foo Fighters too. But it's hardly it's sad, when is David is he the one who passed, or is he the lead singer of Foo Fighters who was the drummer for Nirvana? I don't remember all these guys' names, but actually I saw an interview. Which one is from Foo Fighters and which one passed? I don't know their names. Fox is terrible. 20 years we watched. Yeah, I feel betrayed by Fox News. Don't you guys feel betrayed by Fox News? I really do. Fox News is number one in cable news still. They're not number one because of themselves. They're number one because of all of us made them number one. Oh, David is the one who passed away. Yeah, it was my age too. But, these rock stars, they live a life, a certain lifestyle, and it leads to such things. Who's running the country besides Biden? The thing about who's running the country, I think that the country is being run by various factions that are kind of doing their own thing, right? I think, and so they coordinate, but we don't have a leader running the country. I know a lot of people say, oh no, Obama's too lazy to do much of anything. There's little factions that have their own little kingdom that they're running. The country is not being run by any particular person. But all the different factions none of them are good. Yeah, I know Star Trek. This T-shirt I'm wearing, Star Trek Picard. I wore this for a purpose today because I wanted to remember to talk about it. This show, this season, I'm not going to talk about Star Trek too much, but you guys, a lot of you know me for a long time. I'm a Trekker. I'm a big Star Trek fan. This show, Star Trek Picard, is the most liberal, woke science fiction I've ever seen. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but it is. They're doing. They got a BLM thing going on this season on it. They're blaming MAGA for the homeless crisis in California. It's taking place in California in 2024. They got one of Picard's crew was picked up by ICE, and since he's undocumented, he's going to be deported to Mexico. It is so left-wing, it's not even watchable. It's not even watchable. Star Trek Picard, it is so anti everything that we stand for. It's really disgusting. Yeah, Fox News, that Fox News had been turning for a long time. I heard, though, that Chris Wallace, who's on the CNN app that no one's watching, that he's in the running to get a primetime show on CNN now. Good luck. Give it to him so he can fail. That would be devastating. He would do better in obscurity on the app with no one watching than failing in primetime. No doubt about it. So this moment with Biden yesterday is he gave classified intel to these soldiers. And I know a lot of people are laughing at this. This is not funny. This is frightening. This country is in a period of time right now. We are in more jeopardy than any of us have been in our lifetimes as a nation. This is the most dangerous time since the end of the Second World War. This is worse. We're in more danger than the Cuban Missile Crisis, which I don't think we were really in danger during the Cuban Missile Crisis, really. But, history thinks we were, and most people think we were. I'm kind of gone rogue on that one a little bit, but I think the Russians, everything went according to plan with that. But this is the most dangerous time. And the reason we're in such a dangerous time is because Joe Biden is so feeble. He's got to have severe Alzheimer's or something. I mean, this is not funny to me. I was listening a little bit on Fox early this morning, and they were kind of laughing about it. This is not something to laugh about. China, Russia, Iran, they're watching this, and they're rubbing their hands together and high-fiving because this is their opportunity. So you've probably seen this clip, but I'm going to play it and then talk about it because this is frightening.
And you're going to see when you're there, and some of you have been there, you're going to see women, young people standing in the middle of front of a damn tank, just saying, I'm not leaving. I'm holding my ground. They're incredible. And
Okay.
you're going to see when...
Okay, so what he just told these soldiers, by the way, Wesley, $5 super chat, thank you. Everyone thank Wesley for that. Good morning, Brian. One moderate Dim senator announced yesterday that they will support the nominee. Yeah, I'm going to get to that later. Manchin's going to vote for Ketanji. We'll get to that. Yeah, I know, Wesley. It's, I told you, you can't trust these Democrats. You can never trust a Democrat. Just because they're with us on one thing doesn't mean they've gone MAGA on us. But Joe Biden has just told these soldiers that they're going to go to Ukraine. After they've said we're not going to Ukraine, and what Biden did here is slip and give out some classified information to the world, including our enemies. He said that we are going to have U.S. troops, and these troops are going to be among them in Ukraine. And when they're there, they're going to be there while the Russian army is there, because what Biden is talking about is you're going to see women in front of tanks. Well, what tanks are those trying to stop them? Russian tanks. And, I remember when President Trump was president-elect, the mainstream media were talking about, maybe the intelligence community shouldn't give him national security briefings because he might leak out the information because he's got a big mouth on the Twitter. Or maybe they should give him misinformation because he's going to leak. Remember that discussion? These people, they're so disgusting. Joe Biden, what's going on with Joe Biden is he's getting the security briefings. He's there. And because he's not in control of his mind due to his age and the cognitive decline, he is giving out classified information. And the classified information is that the United States Army, these soldiers are going to be sent to Ukraine.
And you're going to see when you're there, and some of you have been there, you're going to see women, young people standing in the middle in front of a damn tank, just saying, I'm not leaving. I'm holding my ground. They're incredible.
Wow. That's just scary, man. I mean, that is just scary. He's giving out classified information, and this is contrary to what stated U.S. policy is right now. And, I mean, that's just unheard of. Unheard of. And, the way the media are handling it, of course, is, they're backtracking, he misspoke, whatever they're doing, It is what it is. He got a classified briefing talking about the classified plans to send the United States military in force into Ukraine while the Russians are there. And because he's not in control of himself, he went out there and gave out classified military secrets live on television. I mean, these poor soldiers must be scared to death that this is their commander-in-chief. Wouldn't you be? Now, I want to take a moment, guys, to tell you about the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, Mike Lindell. And when you use my promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, you get incredible deals on MyPillow products. And also, you're supporting all the content I put together, which is my YouTube channel, my podcast. You're supporting the Steve Kane Radio Show, and everything that I do, you're supporting when you use our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. And when you go to MyPillow.com, this will pop up. You with the promo code, you get the great deal and save an additional $10 off whatever special you choose. And right now I'm wearing my MyPillow My Slippers, which are 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And you can get another $10 off that if you take advantage of that pop-up screen offer. That's right. That's right. And remember, with every purchase at MyPillow.com with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, you get a free copy of Mike Lindell's book. That's right, which is his autobiography, and it's an incredible book. What Are the Odds is the title of the book, From Crack Addict to CEO, and it's a great book. And remember, you get a free copy of Mike Lindell's book, What Are the Odds, with every purchase on top of the special, no matter what product you purchase, with the promo code KANE. The MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheet, 60% off. And again, remember, you get that other $10 off at that pop-up window and the free book with the promo code KANE at checkout. The MyPillow itself, just $19.98. This is the lowest price ever on the MyPillow. The 6-piece MyPillow towel set, I dried off with my blue. These right here are MyPillow towels this morning when I took a shower. Regularly $109.99, just $39.99 with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And remember that pop-up screen, you get another $10 off that. Right now, at my feet, my dog Nina is sleeping on her MyPillow pet bed, which is 50% off, as low as $19.99. And remember that $10 off as low as $9.99 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. The MyPillow bathrobe, I have this one right here, the gray one. My wife has the white one. They come in sizes and styles for both men and women. They have a heavy robe, a lighter robe, and those are 30% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And there's many other specials you can take advantage of. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper with the promo code Kane, 30% off, and you get 2 free MyPillows. So it's a great, great deal. And remember, you get a free copy of Mike Lindell's book, What Are the Odds? From Crack Addict to CEO, with every purchase, no matter what product you're buying, when you use the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, on top of the great deal that you decide to take advantage of on all these products. And these towels are absolutely amazing. In fact, our old towels that are not the MyPillow towels, we just use those for like rags around the house, right? I was doing some work on the back porch with some tar. I used the old towels and threw it away. These towels will change your life. You'll never use another towel again. But remember, promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout, and take advantage of these deals and support all my content at the same time, guys. And Mike Lindell, he's a great guy. No doubt about that. But this is one I really loved. I love this story. Oh, Mike Lindell's slippers are amazing. I have my MyPillow, my slippers on my feet right now. Right now. And my dog, she's snoring down there. This is a great story. I love this. This lady governor, she got booed at the Rangers game, and this is amazing. It's not just Joe Biden, it's Democrats in general are getting booed.
Tonight.
Watch this. This is great. This is great. Oh, my gosh. How humiliating. Oh, it won't let me expand it, so we'll just have to watch it small, but that's okay.
We'd like to salute Governor Kathy Hochul, the first female governor of New York State.
Hear the boos?
Hochul began her career in public service in the greater Buffalo area, served in Congress, and was twice elected lieutenant governor.
Hear the boos?
Tonight's ceremonial first puck, a champion of women's rights and leader of the great state of New York. Please welcome Governor Kathy Hochul.
Yeah, what women's rights did she champion? Oh, man. A MyPillow reclining chair. Well, a MyPillow recliner, Irish Mexican, sounds like a great idea, but with one problem. Would you ever want to get out of the recliner? Probably not. And this thing here with Governor Hochul here, she champion of women's rights, and they're booing her. This is what is crazy about this. Okay, she doesn't even hear the boos. You can tell on her face there. She just thinks they love her. She's on the red carpet. She actually thinks she's a champion of women's rights. What right has she been a champion of that makes her a champion of women's rights? And what I mean by that is, she's done nothing. Women have had equal rights with men since 1920, okay? That's when women got the right to vote. That was the final right. So we're 102 years after that. So what is she talking about? What is she talking about? That would be my question. What right have you been a champion of for women that they have because you've been partaking and being a champion of it? Women have had full rights your entire life. And a lot of times when people talk about like Ketanji, and you hear this more with like black activists who still think it's like the 40s and 50s and they've accomplished getting some rights established that they've had their entire life. Democrat groups as a whole, whatever victim group it is, they think that the civil rights struggles are still going on. And they're not. Everything's been achieved. The final, civil rights thing that was accomplished from the left was the gay marriage. They got that. They've got everything. What are they fighting for? They don't know what to do now that they've won everything. And they have to continue to think that they're champions of this, they're champions of that. But, I'd like to see Governor Cuomo walk out there and see if he gets booed too. I imagine he would. But Hochul, this is her last stop. First female governor. Yeah, quite by accident. And, oh my goodness. But it's nice to hear a Democrat get booed, Ugh. She gave them the right to return back to the way it was in 1880. I guess New York's a mess. That's exactly right. New York is in a mess. And you got bad weather in New York. Are you sure, Sue, you know what a dog is? You're not a veterinarian. You're not a biologist. You're not a scientist. Oh, my goodness. You know, one of my least favorite Republicans is Mitch McConnell. It's hard to pick like one Republican that I dislike the most, you know, because I dislike so many of the Republican activists, you know. Yeah, Hochul, if she's a champion of women's rights, you know what she could do to make herself a champion of women's rights? Come out against Lia Thomas destroying women's sports. That would be something, right? That would be something. You know, here you've got this, you know, Lia Thomas. See, this is what I believe about Lia. I don't think Lia Thomas is a transgendered issue, okay, about a born biologically male and transgender. Lia Thomas is just a cheater, okay? I do not believe that Lia Thomas is transitioning to be female. I believe that Lia Thomas couldn't make it as in the men. She was ranked, what, like 250 or something in the men's rankings, and just said, you know what, I can take advantage of this transgender thing, put on the girl bathing suit, stop getting haircuts, let my hair grow long, and say I'm transitioning, and I can win everything. So I think the Lia Thomas issue, no one's really talking about this. Some people are starting to get involved in it. The Greg Kelly, who's spectacular on Newsmax TV, I've heard him talk about it. But Lia Thomas is just a cheater. And, you know, Caitlyn Jenner, I grew up with Bruce Jenner, okay? And I know a lot of you guys, people don't like Caitlyn Jenner and all this stuff. We had Bruce Jenner on the Steve Kane Show in studio once, and I grew up with it. Caitlyn Jenner is even opposed to Lia Thomas, okay? It's just total cheating. And I've been predicting all of those records of Lia Thomas are going to be tossed. Every single one of them are going to be tossed. And I'll tell you, there very well may be some major lawsuits, not just against the university, but the entire, I guess, what is that, the NCAA? What is the sporting institution that oversees the ladies' college swimming? You know, they were saying on NBC Sports, yeah, the airbrush was just unbelievable. They were saying on NBC Sports that Lia Thomas is going to go for the Olympic Games now. And, you know, I was talking with my wife, Kathy, on our last podcast episode, you know, that Lia Thomas at some point is going to hit the end of the road, because for a swimmer, after the Olympics, that's it, right? There's no professional swimming after that. So is Lia Thomas going to live the rest of their life as a woman or not? What do you guys think? How long can she keep it going? Because I think Lia Thomas is just a cheater. And I'm glad to see the female athletes are coming up, but the NCAA oversee it. There's going to be a major lawsuit, a class action or a group lawsuit. I don't know if it'd be class. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what the term would be, but these girls swimmers have had their entire lives and careers derailed because of a cheater. They're not winning. They're not going to be able to qualify for things that they would be able to qualify for. It'll affect their career in the swimming business and industry and endorsements and Olympics and everything else. And this is going to get exposed. This is going to get exposed at some point. And the media, I would really like to see the media have some doctors come on that deal with people that are transitioning, because doctors, there's a lot of doctors that are medical doctors that deal with people that are transitioning, and there's a process to go through before they just start doing it. But I was telling Kathy on the podcast the other night, it's only a matter of time before we either get more cheaters or maybe someone who's against this making a point. And I'm expecting to see either a cheater or someone to make a point about Lia Thomas to join the ladies golf, the LPGA, and win the whole thing. Okay? And the governor of New York, who's a champion of women's rights, if she would come out against Lia Thomas as cheating, okay, then she could call herself a champion of women's rights. Exactly. Yeah, let LeBron James play for the WNBA. Exactly. Oh man, but I would say if someone could play golf well enough and pull this off and say, you know what, I'm a man, I'm transitioning now, and I'm gonna go play for the LPGA, and see a male golfer who's average or mediocre go and become a champion. That would be the beginning of ending all of this. And what really turned things around for against Lia Thomas, because you've noticed there's been a big change in the last couple of weeks, is after Lia Thomas won a bunch of those races, did an interview. And when the interview was done, people were like, well, wait a minute, this doesn't seem like someone who's really transitioning, right? Yeah. Oh, man. But no, it's golf. Not if you're already a golfer, right? I'm not talking about just somebody like me, who doesn't make it off the driving range. I'm talking about someone who's like a golfer at the college level or something, who says, okay, let's prove a point here. I think it would be an amazing thing for like Project Veritas or something to do. That would be amazing. Golf, yeah, I'm not too good at it, golf, myself. So here's one of my least favorite Republicans, Mitch McConnell, talking about Ketanji.
The Judiciary Committee has completed its hearing for Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. I enjoyed meeting the nominee. I went into the Senate's.
Let me tell you this, okay? This politically correct crap, okay? How can you enjoy meeting someone who gives 3 months to people that have child pornography? I don't enjoy meeting people like that. Do you?
The Judiciary Committee has completed its hearing for Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. I enjoyed meeting the nominee. I went into the Senate's process with an open mind. But after studying the nominee's record and watching her performance this week, I cannot and will not support Judge Jackson for a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court. First, Judge Jackson refuses to reject the fringe position that Democrats should try to pack the Supreme Court. Justice Ginsburg and Justice Breyer had no problem denouncing this unpopular view and defending their institution.
Yeah, so, I know Manchin has come out and said that, he's going to vote for her, but we only need one. We only need one Democrat to say no. And I really find it almost impossible to believe that they can get 50 people to sign off on her with what came out about her sentencing. I just find, most people call him the turtle, chasing a little white ball around the golf. I haven't played golf in years. I was trying for a while, but I don't know. It's a long game all day, and I just don't, I don't have the patience nor the time for it, frankly. If you'd like to call in, by the way, I do have the number pinned at the top of the chat, 561-453-0328. 561-453-0328 is the call-in number. If you're watching live and you'd like to call in and comment on anything that we are talking about, you are most certainly welcome to do that. This is, Biden was lost here. Nobody can find Biden at the NATO summit as world leaders awkwardly seek him out. And, and here you have Boris Johnson, who is trying to find out where the president of the United States is. And this is what's leading this country. Look at this. Like, where's Biden? Where's Biden? He's lost. They're lost. We're out here. There's so much that's going on behind the scenes with Joe Biden. It's worse than we see, you know. And there's something going on behind the scenes right here that they've got all the leaders of NATO out there. Here's Boris, and he's like, "What is going on?" I know, isn't it frightening? It's frightening. No, because he has good moments and bad moments. I wouldn't say he has good days, but some days are better than others, but there are more bad days than there are good days, and he fades in and out, especially with a trip like this. That is a lot of traveling. There's jet lag. There's actual meetings that he's got to attend, et cetera, et cetera. And it's just taken its toll on him, and you can see that he's just out of it. At the entire summit, and you know, when we're leading into a situation, well, let's take a call. We're leading into a situation where a war may happen. We need someone that's got their wits about them. Hey there, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Jeff from Maine.
Jeff from Maine. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, you know, even if a man has all his manhood removed, that will never make him a woman.
Yeah.
Correct?
Well, yeah. Well, they changed the definition of that, but yeah, you're correct. You'll always be biologically what you were born as. Yes.
When a man can become pregnant and deliver a baby, that would make him a woman, but he wouldn't be a man.
Well, the Democrats will tell you today that men can have babies. I've heard them say this. They can become pregnant. Mm-hmm.
You know, and as far as the Supreme Court nomination, I put in the chat room, I said, if a woman cannot give the definition of what makes a woman, she doesn't deserve any type of leadership, let alone a nomination to the Supreme Court of the United States of America.
You know, I'll tell you, Jeff, this thing with Ketanji, when she said she couldn't tell the definition of a woman, she's not a biologist. This is pretty frightening. She knows what a woman is. She knows what a man is, okay? But she's political. And
that's right.
And she doesn't. She is a federal judge. She has a lifetime appointment already, even if she doesn't get on the Supreme Court. What does she care about politics in a position like that, right? You know?
Right.
And the fact that she wouldn't render an opinion because of politics tells you right here and right now that she is going to be concerned about politics while on the bench, because she's on the bench and she's playing politics. So she's one of these activist judges who legislates from the bench. I mean, that's just a confirmation of that.
Get her nominated.
Well, since she's already on the federal bench, she's on that federal appeals court. She's got that's a lifetime appointment too, right? So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. All federal judges are lifetime appointments. Yeah, absolutely. So some of them retire because they can get a big job in a private law firm and make boatloads of money, you know. But no, federal judge is a lifetime appointment, not just the Supreme Court. And she is playing politics while on the federal bench. That right there, and no one's talking about that. Everyone's saying, "Oh, she doesn't know what a woman is." She knows damn well what a woman is, but she's a legislator from the bench. She's an activist.
And as far as Biden goes, when he's a national embarrassment and a disgrace every time he has to talk publicly. Why hasn't if Trump ever was a tenth of that, they would shout for the 25th Amendment.
Oh, yeah. But, you know
what I mean?
Of course they would. They were shouting for it anyway, right? But
why aren't the Republicans asking for it?
Well, because
because they can't get enough votes?
They better. If they don't impeach this guy after we win back the House of Representatives, they're in big trouble. I think there's an expectation for them to do that. Hey, Jeff, listen, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. Jeff's always got something good to say. Hey there, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, how you doing? Good morning, Brian. This is Eric Tate from Philadelphia, PA, Pennsylvania. How you doing today?
Eric from Pennsylvania. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing good. God bless you, Dora, Emily, and family for helping you set up this podcast. First time we call you on Saturdays. And I can't reach you on the weekend because the phones be off the hook. But no, I just wanted to put a comment in about what's going on. This watching how things have just been unfolding, Brian, with Joe Biden. It's just like, man, it's just like so crazy. He is so checked out. I don't even think he knows he's Joe Biden. And then Kamala Harris with her talking points as far as what's going on, you know, overall with the country stuff. She's just as bad. I mean, they're both bad. The whole Democrat Party just needs to be flushed in the toilet. And everything just needs to be restarted.
Do you think? Now think about this. Now, who do you think we would be worse off with, Joe Biden or Kamala as president?
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean she's an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, knowing that she has all her faculties, I think we'd be more dangerous with her because she's just you can't really say anything to her. She's like off in her own cyberspace. But I mean, and then Joe Biden with his mind going, it's bad with both of them. It's just bad with both of them. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but I would say it's more. I would say it's more dangerous with Joe Biden. See, I believe what happened in Afghanistan with that withdrawal. I believe he had one of those senior moments. Yeah. And he lost it and came out and went against even these idiots that run the military right now, General Milli Vanilli, and I think he in his Alzheimer's haze ordered an immediate withdrawal of all U.S. forces before it was ready and left the Taliban with everything that happened back there, everything they left behind. I think that was so. I think Joe Biden would be more dangerous. They're both bad, but I think he would be more dangerous because he goes into these senile fits of rage and gives orders that are carried out that get people killed, like in Afghanistan.
Yes, exactly. This my thing is, now, I agree with you with that, Brian. This my thing with Kamala Harris. Like, I mean, we asked her a simple question. I mean, my God, I mean, even me, I've been to the hospital because my health has been up and down.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, even with that, Brian, and I agree with you, and I'll finish it up on this point, she doesn't even know what part of Ukraine is. She doesn't even know that's part of that's part of Europe. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, this is the vice president, and even with my strokes and seizures, I can tell you that. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh my God, it's just like a like you said, one of those movies that it's a nightmare that you just never wake up. They said, well, let me just test myself to see if I'm still here. Yeah, you're still here, and this is still a nightmare.
Exactly.
You know,
I know what you mean.
I just pray to God we can get through these 3 years, my man. But that's all. I just wanted to call in today.
Well, we have
God
to get
bless
through.
Your family.
Well, thank you. We have to get through these 3 years. We have no choice. It's going to be rough. Things are going to get worse, but we got to. You going to watch the Trump rally tonight?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely tuned into that. I've been watching them all the way. I mean, he really looks solid. He really looks solid. I mean, God, I wish we had him back in power there. I just hope a lot of people really, Brian, I'll finish up with this. I appreciate you letting me call in. Really pay attention how well that gentleman handled this country, our real president, for 4 years, flawlessly.
Flawlessly.
I hope people really realize that.
Well, listen, thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Well, thank you. Philadelphia. All right. Hey there, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Mike in Boca.
Mike in Boca. Hey, Mike, the man who 1 week ago today meant Don Jr.
Yes. So I was watching your video of Boris and the gents.
Oh, my goodness.
Waiting on. Now, if you go on YouTube, there's hours of tape where Trump, front and center of all these jokers. There's the one where he's walking and he pushes the guy to the side. You know that video? You've seen it.
Well, yeah, because he's in charge. He's the president of the United States, and he wants them to know who's in charge.
Yeah, and he's talking to them, telling them all, pay up, grow a set of nuts, you know. And then there's the other video where he's talking to President Xi of China, and he cuts the cake. That was the best video, where he's cutting gives him a slice of cake and tells him in the ear, "Oh, by the way, we're bombing. I can't. We're bombing Syria."
Mm-hmm.
That's another moment in time.
Yeah.
And then there's the other video where he shakes Putin's hand and he pulls him, and he probably says something right there too. Biden can never do that. He never did that, and he will never do that.
And he's so if this were Biden back when he had his wits about him, it'd be bad enough because he was corrupt and everything. But he was a figure who would get in people's faces, and put his. Now he's just like asleep, doesn't know where he's at. Probably thinks Obama's president half the time. And
I mean, he's scared of. He's very, very scared of President Trump. When he goes to Europe, to NATO, and he talks about Charlottesville. I mean, what is that all about?
And then when he took a picture with the NATO leaders, he stood off to the side instead of front and center where the President of the United States belongs.
And there's another video that just came out yesterday. I put it on Twitter, where he is commenting with the Army guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally not even like when Trump did it. When Trump did it, these people, our servicemen and women waited, and they were like,
"Oh, you're talking about the pizza? Like, you're talking about the pizza?
Yeah, the pizza. You saw that? Yeah, the pizza."
Well, Joe was in the mess hall. None of the soldiers have food to eat. They're sitting there. Yeah. He grabs a pizza and starts eating pizza. The last time I saw someone do something like that was actually Hillary, who went to the front of the chow line on Thanksgiving. But the soldiers have no food, but Joe goes and gets their food and eats in front of them. And when you see that video, you can see the looks on their faces. It's not just that they're probably MAGA, but that they're scared. They are facing the possibility of going to war being led by this guy.
Okay, one more question I have for you. So when we take over the Senate and Congress, I've heard the last couple of days some rumbling. I think it's baloney, but do you really think these guys are going to do the 25th Amendment on President Biden?
Well, they can't do the 25th Amendment. The Congress can't do the 25th Amendment. That takes the vice president.
Well,
they can only impeach him and then have a trial in the Senate.
Oh, yes, impeaching their son. Do you really think they're going to try to impeach him?
Yes, in the House he'll be impeached. Yeah.
You think he? Okay.
Yeah, but that's almost symbolic. It doesn't mean anything unless they have the trial and they can remove
after
them.
they did it to Trump, it's symbolic because when they did it to Trump, it was complete baloney.
Yeah, I think they'll be obligated to impeach him, and they should impeach her too for allowing this to happen.
I think she's still upset about her office.
She's more upset about her shoes. That's all she seems to worry about are her shoes.
Yeah, and I heard somebody else quit this week from her speech staff. Every day you wake up to this, it just gets weirder and weirder.
Absolutely.
It really does.
It sure does. Well, Mike, hey, listen, thanks for calling.
Everyone have a great weekend. You have a great weekend, Brian.
You too. All right, thanks for calling. Bye-bye. Thanks for calling. Some great calls this morning. Welcome, everyone. If you've called and couldn't get through, I can only take one call at a time here on the live stream on the YouTube. So that's why it's that way. So if you were calling and I didn't answer, it's because I was talking to someone else. So you're welcome to call in. The number to call in is pinned right at the top of the chat, 561-453-0328. But I think, Newt Gingrich, we had Newt Gingrich over at Wings Plus on Sample Road once, and he's a good guy. And I think he says it best about
Well,
Kamala.
First of all, if you want a strong reason to pray for the health of the President of the United States, you are reminded again today that reason is the Vice President. She's not only totally incoherent, he may or may not have cognitive decline problems at his age, but at her age, she's just dumb. I mean, let's be clear. Kamala Harris may be the dumbest person ever elected vice president in American history, and that's why people keep resigning. I mean, if you were her national security advisor, and you were competent, and you'd worked hard, and you knew what you were doing, and you watched her in Poland break up laughing when she's asked about Ukrainian refugees, you had to feel a sense of total humiliation.
That's right.
So I'm not surprised that particular advisor resigned, because it's very clear that Kamala Harris should never, ever be allowed to leave the country. She probably shouldn't be allowed to leave the Naval Observatory, which is the residence of the vice president. She is a constant danger to herself and to the rest of us.
Yeah, Hannity can't wait to talk. Hannity, this is Dan Quayle was not a stupid guy. He misspelled potato once, and that was the end of Dan Quayle. But I think Newt said it best. I think, and that's it. That's just it. Oh my goodness. I mean, I got some. I know. Newt had some problems. No one's perfect. But his analysis about Kamala Harris is spot on. I like him. I met him. He's all right. Yeah, just dumb. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's not all that complex. Sometimes a potato is just a potato, right? That's right. This story here is, I'm really reluctant to share this because it's in Florida. It's in Miami, and I don't want people to think our state is a bad state because this is a great state. But Miami's a Democrat town. Man arrested after attempting to rape woman inside a busy Miami Wal-Mart. This is crazy. Brendan Jarmal Harvey, age 28, was arrested on Sunday, this is last week, after he attempted to sexually attack a woman shopping inside a Walmart. The incident happened right inside the busy Walmart store at about 9:30 p.m. Sunday night. He came up behind her, pulled up her dress, grabbed her rear. When she turned around, he pushed her to the ground. The woman screamed for help as he ripped off her underwear while grabbing her, private parts. A video was captured after he attempted to sexually attack the woman. The video showed shoppers rushing in to help the woman and intervene to stop the attack. I'm not going to show the video because it's too graphic. He was charged with sexual battery. His bond was set at $50,000. Why should there even be a bond? Not that this guy could come up with the bond, but maybe he could. You never know. There should be no bond for this. This guy is so hopped up on, meth, something. This is not his first run-in with the law. Shocker. His previous arrests ranged from disorderly conduct and resisting arrest to grand theft and armed robbery. He was out on bond for a felony arrest when this assault occurred. That is just awful. I mean, we've got this new trend, and I wonder. I'll ask you guys this: is this a new trend or is it technology? He tried to rape her in a busy Walmart. So obviously he's whacked out on drugs. But you've seen these videos. Like there was a video that came out the other day of the jewelry store heist in Los Angeles during the day with the sledgehammers. They're doing robberies during the day. Are criminals more confident now in committing crimes with people around like this or during the day more than normal? Or are people just capturing things on their cell phones and getting them up on social media, things that were going on before that we didn't see? So I don't know. I don't know if this is an increase or if things are just getting caught more on phones. Because like with climate change, global warming, liberals will tell you, well, no, there's more storms, there's more this. There's not more bad weather. The technology just shows us weather in places and in ways we never saw it live before. So I'm hoping that this type of crime is there's not like a big increase in it. It's just an increase in people having cell phones. But my goodness, and these people they here they are jumping the guy and saving the day and all. But you got to ask yourself, what would you do? Everyone would say, oh, I would intervene. I think this incident, something like this happening, is so shocking that most people would see it and not realize, not react right away. I think there would be a delayed reaction, not out of fear, but out of such shock that something like that's happening right in front of you on the aisle at Walmart. I mean, that would be my, I don't know. That's just something else. Now, I want to tell you guys, take a quick moment here to tell you about this great deal from the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, Mike Lindell. With our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which I sleep on each and every night, 30% off, and you get 2 free MyPillows with the promo code Kane at checkout. Now, you know, I've had this mattress topper. It'll be a year next month. We got it last April, and I'll tell you, it changes your life. You can see here these straps. That mattress does not move, man. The cover, you can take it off and wash the cover if you would like. And the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, this is a great deal, makes a great Mother's Day gift. 30% off with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And you get 2 free MyPillows with it. And remember, with every purchase at MyPillow.com with our promo code, not only do you get to take advantage of the great discount, you also, with every purchase, no matter what product you purchase, it could be a pillow, towel, slippers, whatever, this 3-inch mattress topper, you also get a free copy of Mike Lindell's autobiography, What Are the Odds? From Crack Addict to CEO. And, you know, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, it's made of 3 layers, right? Layer 1. The MyPillow patented foam, it's a solid piece that provides superior support and durability. Layer 2, transitional foam, which provides optimal comfort, evenly distributes body weight, and helps relieve pressure points. That's why my wife's back pain disappeared with the mattress topper, relieving those pressure points. Layer 3 is the cover that's made from phase change material to keep your body temperature regulated throughout the night. And that's something that's really amazing, no matter what the temperature is. Like, it's chilly this morning in South Florida. It's in the 50s this morning. It'll warm up, though, later, no problem. But no matter what the temperature is, you are always the perfect temperature because that cover regulates your body temperature. It's unbelievable. Now, again, as I said, the zipper removable cover is washable and dryable, and it'll fit perfectly back on after you wash and dry it. Those 4 corner straps hold that topper in place, and I've tried to move that thing. It stays in place. 60-day money-back guarantee, not that you'll need to take advantage of that. You're going to love it. A 10-year warranty, and, of course, made right here, see there, in the USA. So, yeah, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and a free copy of Mike Lindell's book, What Are the Odds? His autobiography, From Crack Addict to CEO. And, of course, with your purchase, you are supporting all the content that I produce. My YouTube channel, my podcast, the radio show, everything when you use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Plus, you're supporting the great Mike Lindell and all of his efforts, too. So, thank you for your support and appreciate that. Oh, man. You know, this is what Mike was talking about. I pulled this up because Mike mentioned this in his call. This is the video of Biden with the soldiers in the mess hall with the pizza. And these soldiers, I think it's safe to assume that most of these soldiers are MAGA, right? Is that a safe assumption? I think it is. But it's got to be scary for them. Here we are, you know, preparing these guys to go to war with Russia, right? And the commander-in-chief comes in, totally checked out, you know, and the rumor is that he wears adult diapers. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard people say that. But if you've ever been around someone with adult diapers, you can tell by the smell. So these guys are seeing him up close, which he's worse in person, and maybe even getting an odor. He's in the mess hall trying to act like he's down with the troops. And this is just an example. And I'm not making fun of Joe Biden. This is scary. You know, he's trying to act like he's cool and in with the troops and everything. And he is so checked out cognitively that he doesn't even know that he's not with it. You know, a lot of times, you know, like if I'm not feeling well or I'm tired and, you know, I'm doing a show like now, I know it. I'm aware of it. I'm aware that I'm a little tired and maybe I'm not as quick as I normally am because I haven't had my coffee yet or something, you know, because I'm with it. He is so out of it mentally that he does not even know in this bit here that I'm going to play for you, this video clip, that he's out of it. Watch.
Thank you. And you finished eating or just starting?
They're starting and they're doing a little bit closer.
Hear the sound of silence there?
You're starting to eat. I'm going to sit down and have something to eat. Is that all right?
Yeah. We got the pizza. There you go.
Now look, they bring in a box of pizza, No one else has pizza. Just Joe. Just Joe. Remember that big deal they gave at President Trump when he asked for a second scoop of ice cream? Anybody could have asked for a second scoop. He was the only one that did. And they had like a week worth of discussions in the mainstream media about how selfish Trump is, that he asked for a second scoop of ice cream at that event. Remember that at the White House?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you're finished eating or just starting?
They're starting and they're doing a little bit closer.
Well, if you're starting to eat, I'm going to sit down and have something to eat. Is that all right?
Wow.
Yeah. We got the pizza. There you go.
And you notice what I'm not hearing? I'm not hearing, yes, sir, yes, Mr. President. None of that. Right? This is a very uncomfortable experience for these guys. Oh, he's getting ready to take a selfie, this guy here.
This one is
Oh, I heard a sir. Finally, I heard a sir. One sir.
So we're ready to talk about tennis.
John, you guys want to move?
You made it happen, sir. You made it work. I have trouble with the major
I mean, look at the faces on these guys. You know?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, I rewound it by accident. Hold on, let's get to these.
How long you been?
And you see, like this guy here, you know, this is an interesting thing here. And you can see it on the other ones here, the cut off in this video. But when a celebrity or a president or a senator or a House member or in a room like this, everyone's looking at them. Not this time. And I think part of that is they're talking amongst themselves about how far gone Joe is, you know? And I think that's part of the reason why they're not all staring at him. They're like saying, he's worse than I thought. I can't believe what's going on here. Hold on, I gotta take care of that. Okay, there we go. Got a text. All right, so let's see here. Wow. Yeah, that one guy here, I mean, he is like, you know, he was looking, he didn't look happy, and now he's over here saying something. I'd love to know what he's saying. I don't think it's a lack of respect. I think it's shock and fear that he is their leader as we're about to go to war with Russia. No one's eating but him. Oh, the guy next to him gets a pizza, a piece of pizza, but no one else. Oh my goodness, that's not good. That's not good. You know, and first off, he, you know, if he had his wits about him, I don't know if he would do anything any differently. But, you know, you don't sit down with the soldiers and eat in front of them when they don't even have food served to them, right? You're supposed to be their leader. They eat, then you eat, right? They sleep, then you sleep. Remember? You know, that was, remember that? That was in White Christmas when they were talking about the general in White Christmas. And can you imagine what this trip did to the morale of our troops over there? Oh my goodness, their morale must be at an all-time low. Oh man, these poor guys. Yeah, you know, Steve's son's over there. He's not there in that group, but he's over there, and this is great, Brian. The men look like they would have enjoyed fresh pizza, but any meal would be better without Joe. Man, could you imagine There's these moments that you hear about in history with presidents and generals where they go out and inspire the troops on the eve of battle. I've never seen something like this, where the energy from the soldiers was sucked out of them because he is so checked out. It's amazing. No Trump member has ever served, not a one. Actually, Peter, another way to say that is that President Trump, Don Jr., and Eric have served in the military for the exact same amount of time as President Biden, President Obama, and President Clinton, is another way to say that. Just if you want to make a point of it. And if you're feeling tough, Peter, you can call in and we can discuss. Now, Ketanji, it's the hearing's over. Listen to this. This is in the Gateway Pundit, and it's an article about the guy that she gave the 3 months to. Child porn criminal sentenced to 3 months by soft on pedo judge Ketanji Brown Jackson says he was angry at her until fellow kiddie porn convicts told him they got 5 years. Well, I think 5 years is even light. These should be lifers because these guys will never stop. Wesley Hawkins, the child porn criminal sentenced to just 3 months in prison by Biden Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson, told the Washington Post he's out there doing interviews. This guy, you would think this guy would be on the down low, right? He went to prison for 3 months for the child pornography. This guy. And everyone's talking about him. You would, if he were a normal guy, he wouldn't be doing interviews. But he's out there doing interviews. Got his name out there. He told the Washington Post he was angry with her for being sent to prison at all. Now remember, this is the guy that had images of children 8 and 11. Until fellow first-time child porn convicts told him they had received sentences of 5 or 6 years in prison. Hawkins says he ended up feeling sympathy for the judge that she had to sentence him for a crime he committed when he was just starting out in life. He's now 27. He was 18 when arrested, 19 when he was sentenced by Jackson. Hawkins said he found himself feeling sympathy for the judge. He had once been angry at her for sending him to prison. So, you want to talk... So he still didn't think he did anything wrong. I wasn't very happy she gave me 3 months. Though after reflection, when I was in jail, I was hearing from other people who said it was their first time arrested and they got 5 years, 6 years. See, this is a guy, he knew that, not knew, but he thought, well, what I'm doing is illegal, I'll get in trouble, but since it's the first time, I'll just get a warning, because if I only get caught once, I'll clean up my act after the first time. Oh, my goodness. Oh, $5 super chat from Vladik. Thank you. Everyone, please thank Vladik for that. Great show, Brian. Thanks for investing your time and dissecting the bull crap from the media for us. Well, thank you, Vladik, for that super chat. Thanks for watching. Everyone, please thank Vladik for that. I feel she chose to take into consideration the fact that I was just getting started in life, and she knew this was going to hold me back for years to come. So she didn't really want to add on to that. Hawkins says he did not reoffend, as has been reported. Maybe he just hasn't been caught, right? But that he was caught searching online, he goes on, I don't need to get into that. We don't need to hear his excuses. But look at that. He got 3 months, and he was mad at her, giving him 3 months. Oh, my goodness. So he is certainly, and he still doesn't think he did anything wrong. Still does not think he did anything wrong. This isn't real. I'm not going to talk about this too much. I just wanted to show you guys. Chick-fil-A, they're going to start using cooking oil, for those cooking oil cars. I saw a few years ago near my house a pickup driving down the highway that was powered on the chicken grease, and I've never seen a vehicle on the road. I've heard about them, but I've never seen a vehicle on the road that was powered by chicken grease. Have any of you ever seen this? And now this is the only one I've ever seen on the road. You could smell it going down the street. It smelled like a Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant is what it smelled like. I'm not kidding. And it had a weird device in the bed of the pickup truck where the oil was held and where it was burning. and it had like a smokestack, and every so often the top would come up, and the blackest smoke I've ever seen come out of a smokestack would come up. You would smell chicken, and the whole back, this was in the bed of the pickup, so that whole back window area where the of the pickup truck was completely black from the smoke. It was like burned. It was very strange. It didn't seem very practical, and made me hungry for chicken. But don't get excited about Chick-fil-A. I'm imagining this is like a write-off for them, right? They can write all that off. But what I did want to share was this. This is something else. SoCal residents, Southern California residents, are driving to Tijuana, Mexico for cheaper gas. Can you imagine? Now, see, this is an amazing thing. So, we've got, what a reversal of things going on in the United States under Joe Biden. I never thought I'd see something like this, okay? So these illegals that are crossing our southern border into America, they tell us they're leaving for all kinds of problems, right? One of them, of course, economic problems in Latin America, right? They can't make it financially in Latin America, so they come to America. Now, we have Americans fleeing the United States to Mexico for some economic freedom and be able to afford gasoline. What a reversal of things going on in America under Joe Biden. I mean, I never thought I'd see something like this before. And just because they're liberals out in California, I mean, it's San Diego. A lot of conservatives, a lot of Republicans in San Diego. Californians in San Diego are driving across the border into Mexico for cheaper gas. Gas prices in California are averaging $6 a gallon, and they've broken $7, depending on what, level you get. Thanks to a combination of Biden's war on domestic energy and high taxes in California, the gas price in Tijuana is an average of $3.96 a gallon. A 2-gallon, a little bit cheaper there, so they're driving down there. Large banners at Mexican gas stations advertising their cheap gas prices take a shot at Joe Biden's America. Cheaper than in the USA. Oh, my goodness. The LA Times reported this. I can't pronounce her last name there, but we'll just call her Claudia by her first name. Claudia used to fill up her gray Nissan Pathfinder near her home. Then Russia invaded Ukraine. Gasoline prices went bonkers. The 54-year-old psychologist soon discovered a bargain. A dozen miles south, just across the U.S.-Mexican border in Tijuana, regular gas sells for an average of $3.96 a gallon, nearly $2 less than in California. She was in Tijuana Wednesday to take her children to a doctor's appointment. I don't know if I'd want to be doing that. So when it wasn't a big deal to swing by the Santa Fe gas station on Salinas Boulevard to fill up, but she's also been making special trips. Once a week, I cross when I can. I cross the border into Mexico when I can for some economic freedom and buy affordable gas. Oh, my goodness. That's Biden's America, people. That's right. That's Biden's America. People, Americans have to go to Mexico. Oh, my goodness. And $3.96. So the Mexicans have raised their gas prices, right? Because so many Americans are coming there, they can bump it up a little bit. I know. Isn't that great? Doesn't it make you, aren't you happy? Huh? I tell you. And you know who did this to us? Anyone who supported Joe Biden and supports Democrats today. Oh, yeah, I know. Blaming Putin. Nobody believes that. They were high already. They were going up all the time. Now, of course, Manchin. Oh, yes, great news. Clarence Thomas out of the hospital. He's out of the hospital, which is awesome news. Now, Joe Manchin says he's going to vote to confirm Ketanji. Now, guys, I told you guys during the spending bill debate, Manchin, he's not MAGA. He's not a Republican. We're agreeing with him on this one thing, but he's still a Democrat because I remember a lot of MAGA people were getting so excited about Joe Manchin and supporting Joe Manchin, and he's Joe Manchin this and Joe Manchin that, and here he is, he's screwing us. And let me tell you something. Anyone who votes to confirm her is voting to confirm someone who is soft on child pornographers. And that should not be forgotten. And I'm still not so sure they can get the 50 votes. I'm really not sure they can get the 50 votes. Her record is so bad, it's so poor. I think they're in trouble to get those 50 votes. Biden, they'll find some other liberal lady to put up there, and that's something that we've got to accept, but not this one. Not this one. This one is bad. It's super bad, and it's just we're in big trouble. In fact, what I think the Republicans should do if she gets confirmed, they should run for the and I'm curious, when President Trump is speaking at his rally tonight, I hope that he speaks to the Ketanji issues that came out this week. But the Republicans should run on impeaching her as a Supreme Court judge. If she doesn't get confirmed, the Republicans should run on impeaching her as a federal judge on that appellate court. Judges can be impeached and removed from office too, not just presidents. And it has happened. There have been judges, federal judges, who have been impeached and removed from office. It has happened. And they should run on that. She is bad, bad, bad news. And I don't think it's happened with a Supreme Court justice. If it has, I don't know about it. But it's happened with other federal judges, on the lower benches. And it should happen with her regardless of what bench she sits on, because she is not fit. And she's got a lot of problems. I'm sorry. She should be impeached and removed from the federal judgeship. That's it. They can reappoint her if they want and put her through the process to prove a point on some future event. But, and we know that he's going to appoint another black woman if she didn't make it. That's okay. We accept that. But this isn't something that people should say, well, it doesn't change the balance of the court. I would say that it does. I think the court is out of balance when you have one member of the Supreme Court who's soft on possessors of kiddie porn, okay? But because it doesn't throw the numbers out of balance now, it could very well in the future with this very dangerous woman. Clarence Thomas may have just gotten out of the hospital, but hey, that could have opened up another vacancy. So no, there's never going to be term limits. And by the way, there should not be term limits on the Supreme Court. That would involve a constitutional amendment, and it works fine. The problem is who they're nominating. Now, this story with Trump. This is brilliant. Trump is brilliant. Okay. So President Trump is calling for it's early in the morning, a recusal of a Clinton-appointed judge reviewing his lawsuit against Hillary Clinton and the DNC. I tell you, this guy, President Trump, he is amazing. And he is so smart. And I was talking yesterday on the show, this lawsuit against the DNC and Hillary Clinton over the fake Russia dossier, guys. President Trump, we know he's brilliant. He may not win this lawsuit, okay? He may not even expect to win this lawsuit. But there will be discovery and depositions. Hillary Clinton, Podesta, and many other people are going to be put under oath, under penalty of perjury, for depositions, okay? And that is going to involve a lot of things them being questioned and having to go on the record about whether or not they paid somebody to do an illegal spy op on Trump Tower, okay? So I think the main reason he's doing it is not necessarily to win the lawsuit, because that's iffy. He's up with this Clinton, but to get the depositions and get the discovery out there and the leaks from all those depositions. This is an absolute amazing thing. And, President Trump, He does things like no one else does and thinks outside the box like no one else ever has in the kind of positions that he's in. And to call for this Clinton-appointed judge to be taken off the case is spectacular. And because she was appointed, think about this. He's suing a woman, and the judge was appointed by the husband of that woman? How can she judge this? He's not saying not a Democrat judge. Get an Obama judge. Are there any Carter judges still around? They're Democrats too, but this is amazing. President Trump is just unbelievable. He never ceases to impress me with his out-of-the-box thinking. How can she preside over a case, bringing a lawsuit against the wife of the man who gave her the job? Seems to be a conflict of interest To me, by the way, if you're new here, please subscribe, and everyone make sure that you like the video. Liking the video helps a lot. It tells that YouTube algorithm that you like the video, and it recommends this video and all my content to other people that have not yet discovered my channel. So that helps the channel grow, helps get the word out. This just blew my mind when I saw that story this morning, and I thought, wow, what a great idea President Trump has. He's just amazing. I know, and I can't wait for the rally tonight either. I'm very excited about that. Now, this is CNN, and right now at the southern border, there's thousands of migrants lining up about to become illegal immigrants into the United States. And Brianna Keller here, who always seems miserable to me, she's talking about the surge of migrants on CNN at the border, and her reaction is absolutely revealing. Listen to this.
New this morning, U.S. officials are scrambling to prepare for a record-breaking surge of migrants attempting to cross the U.S.-Mexico border this spring. In a CNN exclusive interview, the chief of Border Patrol says he is bracing for a staggering 8,000 apprehensions a day.
8,000 apprehensions a day, right? That's what they're predicting. And when the government predicts something, they always predict down from what the actual number will be if it's a negative.
In an exclusive interview, the chief of Border Patrol says he is bracing for a staggering 8,000 apprehensions a day.
Now, again, those are just apprehensions. That's not how many people are going to cross illegally. That's just how many they're going to round up.
Of migrants attempting to cross the U.S.-Mexico border this spring. In a CNN exclusive interview, the chief of Border Patrol says he is bracing for a staggering 8,000 apprehensions a day. CNN's Priscilla Alvarez joins me now on this story. That is a huge number.
Wow. Yeah, even she's like, whoa, wait a minute, that's a huge number. even CNN is shocked. And see, this is one of the, I'll play the rest of this. Let's see if they say anything that's worthy. But this is one of the reasons it's very difficult for us to be concerned about the sovereignty of Ukraine's borders when we got this nonsense going on. Let's see if they say anything else that's worthy.
Interview, the chief of Border Patrol says he is bracing for a staggering 8,000 apprehensions a day. CNN's Priscilla Alvarez joins me now on this story. That is a huge number.
It's not just a big number, but the Border Patrol Chief, Raul Ortiz, told me that is the norm that he is expecting over the next 30 to 45 days. So there's a couple reasons why the concern is right now. Number one, typically border arrests go up in the warmer months, and we're heading into the spring, so we're already starting to see that happen. Number two, we are waiting for a decision on a Trump-era pandemic emergency rule. What that rule did was allow authorities to turn people away at the border. We are waiting next week for a CDC decision whether that stays in effect. If it doesn't, that means...
So now the CDC is in charge of border security?
We go back to the traditional protocols, which would be releasing migrants, sometimes monitoring them when that happens, detaining them, or removing them if they don't have an asylum claim. But that takes processing, that takes time. And so what the Border Patrol has had to do is prepare for the event that there will be many more people coming in the next few weeks. And they are already, by the way, Brianna, over capacity. This week they had 16,000 people in custody.
Yeah, so there you go. So and look at this. More than 800,000 have already been apprehended in the fiscal year that began in October 2021. So that's, so we got October, November, December, January, February, March. So in 6 months, we already have 800,000 apprehensions. By the way, that's just apprehensions. That's not how many people made it through, right? So that's, And there's a lot of people wonder why they are doing this. They're doing this for a number of reasons, but one of the reasons is to move people around and change up congressional districts and things around the country. That's one of the things they're doing. They're very strategically moving them around the country. This talk that came up with Ketanji the other day about critical race theory. This is really a scary time we're in. Students and professors push progressive stacking policy that would see white male privileged students called on last during classroom discussions. just the fact that there's such a policy being discussed tells us how much trouble we're in. Whether or not it goes through, what happens, when something like this gets through a school board or a university governing body or whatever, it goes through whatever process it is before it makes it into a classroom in a public school or a university, that there are not people that are putting the brakes on about such a thing and saying, wait a minute, you're going to call on white male students last? Isn't that racist and sexist? Isn't that discrimination? They think that it's okay to discriminate against white guys, and it never occurs to them that there's anything wrong with it. And the fact that there aren't people in these institutions that stand up and say, wait a minute, that's sexism and racism. We can't do that. We're a public school. We're a public university, or even a private university that's taking federal student funds, which kind of negates the private part of it. And with student loans and stuff and grants, it doesn't even occur to, that's how wackadoodle they are, that they can't even, they don't have one person with a lick of sense to put a stop to that about that it's a discrimination issue. And, all we can do about it as conservatives, as MAGA, is do a massive recruiting drive for MAGA school teachers and college professors and just infiltrate the education system. And over time, this crap will go away, because what you're seeing in these news stories is the liberals have, in the last 15 years or so, have been putting in such whack jobs as school teachers and college professors that have now made their way to administrative positions, that this radical nonsense is making its way through. And all we can really do about it, it would be more effective than being activist at the school board, recruiting right-minded school teachers, school administrators, college professors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, But it really hasn't been a move for that, but that's how I would take it. Now, this is amazing. This is amazing. Okay, the Coven of the View, Whoopi Goldberg, she wants the British royals to apologize for slavery following their visit to Jamaica. Okay, well, let's see what Miss Whoopi has to say.
With quality that's
here.
guaranteed for
Hold on. I don't want to watch the commercial. Hold on. Let me see if I can play this without the commercial.
Bathfitter doesn't just fit your bath.
I guess we got to listen to the
high
commercial
standards.
first.
Why have
well,
over
we're
2
in it.
million
We'll watch
people
it.
welcomed
It's okay.
Bathfitter into their homes? It just fits. Call now or visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
We cannot ignore the fact that Britain ran ramshod over India for years.
They enslaved Indians as well.
Created all kinds. Yeah, that's why I'm saying let us not forget when we talk about what needs to happen, all the folks that need to apologize. And listen, this is not new. And I suspect Charles, when he was in
Barbados,
had...
Why does she have to finish Whoopi's sentences, by the way, Sonny?
Some idea, because he went on and apologized as he was releasing the hold that Britain has. So perhaps somebody's listening, and it's the new group of folks. Charles is, I don't know if it's Charles or William, one of them. It's supposed to be
Okay. So, yeah, Whoopi. I know, Whoopi. Whoopi Goldberg, this is an interesting thing, okay? Whoopi Goldberg has an Oscar, a Tony, a Grammy, an Emmy, and there's another award she has too. She is there are more people have walked on the moon than have all these awards at one time that she has. Okay? And she makes millions of dollars a year doing The View, and she walks in right before the show, walks in right after, only works Monday through Thursday. And why should anybody be apologizing for slavery today? This was, especially Britain, the UK, they ended the slave trade much before we ended slavery in this country even. And with Whoopi Goldberg, I would love to be a part of that discussion on that particular day, because I could cause Whoopi to have a complete meltdown. And what I would point out to Whoopi Goldberg is that she is a greater benefit of slavery than I am, and then most of you are too. And because of slavery, she's here in the United States. She's here in the United States and is a millionaire many times over, working 1 hour a day, 4 days a week, right? So maybe she should be doing the apologizing because she's profited from that slave trade so much. But, you know, I don't think that's going to happen. Now, Jim Jordan, he says impeaching Biden is definitely a discussion Republicans should have. See, this is the problem. Should have. Why aren't they already having it? Right? Especially after this checked outness we've seen of him lately. This isn't something they should have. This is something they should already be having. Right? And exactly. You can't trust the Republican establishment. You know, if you put your trust in the Republican establishment, they are going to let you down each and every time because they're never going to be out there for you. They're never going to stand up for you, and they're always going to be working for the other side. They're not even having the discussion. I'm just going to throw in a couple quick stories here. Because I'd like to ask you guys. Laura Ingram says accepting Ukrainian refugees is not in America's best interest. Yeah, why are we accepting Ukrainian refugees? And I'll tell you another thing. Why are we not accepting Russian refugees? You know, they're telling us Putin's a crazy man. He doesn't have the support of his people. Why are we punishing the Russian people because they've got this crazed dictator over there? And this is the Biden story. They're not allowing Russians in. They should say that they're undocumented Ukrainians, and then they'll be let in. But why are we letting in these refugees? We just let in a whole bunch of the Afghan refugees. We don't know who they are and who infiltrated them. Now we're letting in these refugees. How do you know that these Ukrainian refugees are Ukrainian refugees? How many of them are Russian agents that are going to be handed a whole new life in America so that they can do whatever it is that they do? You know, what benefit is there to us of accepting the Ukrainian refugees? What's the game here? How are they being vetted even? You know, this is really the worst time in my lifetime for this country. It really, really, truly is, and it's because of, you know, there's a few things going on here. Okay, it's not just that Biden's checked out and has an agenda. Their agenda is an overdrive because they're afraid they only have a limited window. So they're doing a lot of things that are very radical, and they're doing them fast. They're not being questioned because they're afraid they only got one term here. And they may only have less than a year with the red wave that we hope comes through. You know, so they're moving fast and doing a lot of crazy things. And this is a problem. And, you know, Zelenskyy here, Zelenskyy is in talks to speak at the Oscars. You know, yeah, he'll be with his fellow actors. You know, and all, you know, we have a lot of conservatives out there, you know, like Richie the Bus Driver and others, that are such big fans of Zelenskyy here. You know, since when do conservatives trust actors? Now all of a sudden we're supposed to trust actors. So yeah, so Zelenskyy is in talks to speak at the Oscars this weekend. I don't even know a single movie, nor do I care, that's nominated for the Oscars. Do you? And I'll tell you this, okay? If he's got time to be in negotiations, okay, to speak at the Oscars, how can he really be in that much trouble over there in Ukraine? How is that even you know, if he doesn't have time to shave and put on a suit, you know, yeah, because his country is on the verge of collapse, how does he have time to negotiate? He should be negotiating with Russia to save people's lives, not negotiating with an Oscar committee to get himself on the Oscars. So if, you know, Ukraine collapses, he can come to Hollywood and get some Amazon series or something that he's going to do. I don't know, but it seems that if Zelenskyy, as troubled as things seem to be in Ukraine, if he has time to talk to the Oscars and to negotiate with an Oscar committee, he has too much time on his hands, and things really can't be as bad as they want us to think they are if he's in these kind of negotiations. And by the way, why are the negotiations? What's he negotiating about? Time, placement? I don't know what is the negotiation that's taking place. He's it's pretty bad stuff, And of course the Oscars are going to put themselves out of business. They're going to go the way of the beauty pageant. Look at this. The Oscars are canceling films that are not woke enough. The Academy will disqualify movies that don't have enough black, gay, and disabled actors by 2024. This would have removed from contentions last year's winner, Nomadland, and other nominees for this year. Now, I'm going to tell you, I watched Nomadland. This was the most terminally boring, disgusting movie you could possibly imagine. I guess that if a movie's boring, they think it's artistic or something and makes a statement. It's about a woman, a homeless woman living in her van, and there are multiple scenes of her going number 2 in a bucket in the van. Okay? And this movie glorified van life, which got Gabby Petito killed. That's just my opinion. Let's take a call. Hey there, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Dave from Crimea. How are you?
Oh, hey, Dave calling us from Mother Russia. So
Yeah,
what's going on in Russia today?
I don't know, but we got cut off yesterday when I said that Representative Green had.
Well, I do remember. I don't remember what we talked about, but I remember ending your call. I was late for a break, but I would rather talk about something that's new today, not something I vaguely remember about yesterday. Do you have something new?
Yeah. So let me read it for you. So torture and abuse of Ukrainian people, including women and children. I'm strongly opposed to Putin's invasion and Russia's war in Ukraine. I'm strongly opposed to this. The U.S. must demand Zelenskyy stop his military from torturing his own people.
Who is this? Your statement or somebody else's statement?
No, it's Representative Green. She went on to say that it was Nazi militias in Ukraine that were doing the torture, and the U.S. aid package would be furthering that torture. She called for an end to it. She continued with, we should not spend billions of American hard-earned tax dollars on lethal aid to be given to possible Nazi militias that are torturing innocent people, especially children and women. It's not pro-Putin to be against this. It's pro-torture and evil to stay silent or censor it.
Okay. So what's your point?
So you had mentioned yesterday that the Nazis in Ukraine was Russian propaganda. And, I just like to make sure that you...
I don't know. And just because, Marjorie Taylor... Listen, Marjorie Taylor Greene probably is well briefed, better than I am on such things.
Right.
But just because Marjorie Taylor Greene is not President Trump, okay? Just because I love Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I'm a big supporter of hers. But just because she says something doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to agree with it. But I'm not going to disagree with it either. I think she knows more about the situation than I do. I believe that this war is no business of the United States. We just got out of a 20-year war, which turned out awful by the way Biden ended it. We should not be involved militarily, but we are. We have troops on the ground in Ukraine, and we have for some time. I'm not opposed to giving them military aid necessarily, but this I don't believe this is some anti-Nazi attack that Putin's on. I think that's, if they're over there, I think it's a problem. Obviously, we don't support Nazis, but to act as if that's the primary reason that Putin invaded Ukraine, I think is just dishonest.
I don't think it's the primary reason. It's one of many. Yesterday, you mentioned them, the recognition of Crimea, the recognition of the two republics that got formed, the demilitarization, and you left out the denazification. And so I called in to
I just don't know if that's
a
a thing. I just don't know if denazification is a real thing. You know what? This is the deal, okay? Yeah, in America. What goes on inside Ukraine, no one in this country really knows, because the information we get is filtered and biased. Even you, I mean, you're calling me from Crimea, which is part of Russia now. You know, I mean, it may not be officially recognized by the UN as that, but I think the Russians are in Crimea to stay, and they ain't leaving. So, you know, and whatever information that we get out of Ukraine is filtered through all kinds of filters that have all kinds of agendas. You have an agenda. I have an agenda. Keep America out of another war. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't know where she gets her information. It doesn't matter what goes on in Ukraine. I don't think Americans care. It's none of our business.
Okay, and I would agree like 100% with you, even 110%, Brian. But the fact is, we've been making it our business, and the president has a $5 billion gas grift in Ukraine right now. And in all reality, it's if you go back and say, you know, everyone has an agenda and things like that, a lot of it's what's called OSI, open source intel. And if you're using Trump,
well, here's the thing.
Trump,
I don't
Trump,
care enough.
I
see. This is
Trump,
the problem. Let me tell you. I don't care enough, and I don't think most Americans do, care enough about Ukraine to spend more than 30 seconds researching it. And I know a lot of people will say, well, you don't care about Ukraine, you're talking about it a lot. I care about America staying out of another war, okay, that we're being led to by a bunch of corrupt rich guys to make money. So the details of what's going on in Ukraine, and Americans don't care. It's not our fight. Give the Ukrainians money, give them weapons, but let them fight it out with Russia on their own. I don't believe they're a democracy in the way that we see democracies. I think the entire government is corrupt in Ukraine. But you know, I'm just against us being involved in another war. I don't need to research all the minute details of this and that for I just not going to.
So, but yeah, there's you have to understand that there's willful ignorance. The United States is putting troops in Poland right now. They're amassing.
That's right.
Amassed, you know, planes and hundreds and thousands of various missiles in Poland, and they're trying to figure out how to get all that into Ukraine.
That's right.
Okay, and the whole thing is they'll find a way, and whether or not you want or the American people understand, could even find Ukraine on a map. It's not going to make much of a difference if they can blame everything on Russia and go on with their great reset.
Yeah, you know, part of the problem the United States did after the Soviet Union fell. Poland probably shouldn't be in NATO, and there's probably other, you know, these former Soviet bloc countries. Many of them probably should not be in NATO. It's gotten us involved in a really nasty situation, you know, that leads to all kinds of histories and things that we have no interest in and don't understand, and is getting us in all kinds of trouble.
Well, if you go back to, you know, the fact that there was a 78-day war started in Serbia, you know, with NATO, and, you know, taking out Libya. Look, Libya's been turned into a failed state.
You know, Libya was fine. You know, Gaddafi was actually helping us in the war on terror. And look, Obama screwed that up with NATO, using NATO air support to overthrow him. Yeah, I mean, what's this? Listen, we're the American position. I think from the Trump supporter position, this is a conflict between Russia and Ukraine. It's none of our business. And all of these justifications from both sides that we hear about why we fight, we just don't care. And maybe that's sad, but it's, you know, we've got problems in this country. And what we've definitely learned from the 20-year war on terror is, what difference did that 20-year war make, right? How did we make American interests better off than they were before? And I don't think we did. All we did was destabilize the entire Middle East. And getting involved in this is going to destabilize Europe.
It's going to destabilize the world. You're going to see the crash of the dollar. You're going to see food shortages. You're going to see all that being blamed on Russia.
That's right.
And you'll have some sick sociopath in Germany saying you're going to own nothing, you're going to be happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Hey, listen, appreciate the call from Crimea. You always add something to the program. No doubt about it. Thanks so much, man. All right. Take care. I don't mind hearing from both sides. We can hear from the Russian side of things. Where you said, oh, that Poland's been an ally? Yeah, no. I'm not saying we shouldn't have relations with these countries, but the problem is these countries in Eastern Europe in particular, they have a lot of conflicts that go back hundreds of years. And when you start aligning yourself with, I was talking about this a couple weeks ago. There's a book that, let me see if I can find this book. This is a great book to read. I know I can find it. Let me go on Amazon and find it. And this is a book that, so goes the legend. Hold on. What's the name of the book? What's the title of the book? Okay, yes. I remember the title. So goes the legend, and I do believe this to be true. This book was when President Kennedy first became president, he required his entire cabinet to read this book. And it's called The Guns of August, okay? And it's all about how World War I began, okay? The Guns of August. President Kennedy required everyone on his staff to read this book. And what this book is about, it's not just about how World War I started. That's a little simplistic. There's a term that most people have heard that, you know, if you've ever studied American history or the First World War in school at any level, entangling alliances. And what Kennedy talked about a lot and is the main thesis of this book, which is an interesting book too, by the way, if you're interested in history. And you can get it for free on the audiobook there, $9 on Kindle. That paperback, hardcover, $60. Don't get that. You get the cheapy one. Get the cheapy one. You know, what really started World War I was that all these countries were aligned with one another, and, you know, an attack on one is an attack on all, and there was just a domino effect of how we got into the war. And, you know, even the Second World War, okay? Germany, the Japanese did not tell Germany that they were going to attack Pearl Harbor until right before they did it. And because they had an alliance, yeah, it's true. Because they had an alliance, Germany declared war on us. Was it the day after? Was it on the 8th or the 9th of December? I can't remember the exact date. Because they had an alliance with Japan. And this is how World War I began. And you have alliances with countries that have these century-old conflicts with one another. It's dangerous, especially when you have an attack on one is an attack on all. NATO, you know, prior to this, people have been talking for years whether or not NATO is needed anymore. And I'll tell you, it looks to me that NATO, in many ways, is about to start the Third World War. This war is bad. I'm against all war, okay? I'm a peacenik. I never used to be that much of a peacenik, but I saw how we were lied into Iraq. And I never thought after Vietnam that we could be lied into another war, the American people, and I'm seeing it happen again. And, you know, I'm opposed to us being involved. This is an internal conflict. Let me ask you, if NATO did not exist any longer, would we be where we are on the threat level right now? You know, what role is NATO playing in bringing us to the brink of war? Sarah, $50 super chat. Thank you, Sarah. Everyone, please thank Sarah for that. Brian, you rock, and Kathy and Emily. Emily is my daughter who set me up here at my studio at home. Thank you so much, Sarah. Please thank her for that super chat. So this book here, as I said, President Kennedy required his entire cabinet to read this book when he first got elected. So goes the legend, but I believe it. And it's about how entangling alliances caused the First World War. And you know, many historians believe, and I subscribe to this theory, that the Second World War is a continuation of the First World War. It's just one great war. You know, they're directly related to one another. So we have entangling alliances right now that are about to take us into the Third World War. And I find it to be scary, not just because we have a senile old coot, but how many Americans are jumping on board with this, and I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted by these people sitting on that leather round couch on Fox News talking about sending young men and women who can't even get a slice of pizza with Biden off to fight in a war that has no significance to this country. And I remember the left, the Democrats, when they were opposed to Gulf War II, the war in Iraq, the WMD, they would say, and they were, broken clock is right twice a day. So they were right about this, but only by accident, because, Democrats are not really right. They were just taking knee-jerk positions, but they said something that is certainly relevant today. The Afghanistan was a just war because we were attacked on 9/11, and Afghanistan were harboring Al-Qaeda and bin Laden, okay? Iraq didn't attack us, and the standard should be when we're attacked. That's the lesson from Vietnam. They were talking about the lessons from Vietnam. The lesson from Vietnam is don't get involved in a military conflict unless we're attacked. We were attacked at Pearl Harbor. Look at Korea, right? Kim Jong-un with that missile launch yesterday. We're still in a hostile situation since the Korean War in 1950. Here we are 72 years later, right? We're still involved in a conflict with North Korea because we got involved in something that had nothing to do with us. We get involved militarily. Biden told those troops they're going to Ukraine. We get involved in Ukraine. It's going to be just like North Korea. We're going to be there 50, 60, 72 years later. Hell, we're still in Europe, right? We're still in Germany. The war ended in 1945, and we still have military bases in Germany and throughout Europe that have been there since 1945. So how long is this conflict going to last? In fact, in a way, this conflict is a continuation of the Cold War. Like the connection between World War I and II. This conflict is an extension of the Cold War crap between East and West Germany and the wall and the airlift and all that garbage, okay? So no, I'm not concerned about the little details of what they're fighting for in Ukraine, why they invaded. It was wrong to invade. It wasn't for denazification. Come on. But it's up to them to figure it out. But anyway, if you're interested, this is a thick book, okay? I must tell you, don't just buy it to buy it. Get the free edition in Kindle, and you might get enough in the free reading portion, because this book has a lot of pages. So you might get enough if you get like the free sample version on Kindle to get the gist of it. You might get the first couple chapters for free. So do that I'm not telling you to buy it, but at least read up on the book, because this is like a bug killer almost of a book. A bug killer meaning a book so big, so thick it could kill a bug if you dropped it on it. A bug killer book. But anyway, hey guys, listen. If you're new here, please subscribe. All right, and everyone like the video. That helps me out a lot. And if you really want to help me out a lot, go to MyPillow.com and buy something with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Great deals here. Mother's Day is coming up. These are all great Mother's Day gifts. And remember, with every purchase you make at MyPillow.com, you get a free when you use my promo code Kane, on top of the great deal, like 60% off the MyPillow sheets, the MyPillow just $19.98, 50% off the MyPillow pet bed with the promo code Kane, as low as $19.99. The MyPillow towel set, normally $109.99, just $39.99. Whatever you purchase, on top of the great deal, when you use my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, you also get a copy for free included of Mike Lindell's autobiography, What Are the Odds? From Crack Addict to CEO. All right, on top of that. So that's great. And, of course, the slippers, 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, just $69.99. All these deals. You also get that free copy of Mike Lindell's book. And you're supporting my content and everything I do, and you're also supporting the great Mike Lindell. Wesley, $5 super chat. Wesley Lewis, thank you. Everyone, please thank Wesley Lewis. Another lesson of war, and it's particularly true of Korea and Vietnam, is never enter into a military conflict unless your objective is to win. Exactly. Exactly. You know, there was the objective in Korea was the 38th parallel, and they're still got to maintain that all the time. Vietnam, I don't know what the objective was in Vietnam. It certainly wasn't to win, you know. And what would be the objective in Ukraine? Does anyone know? Secure the Burisma records so Biden doesn't get brought up on charges? I don't know what the objective would be in Ukraine. Defeat Russia? That doesn't sound like something we should really be involved in. But anyway, hey, don't miss the Trump rally tonight. I know I'm going to be watching it, and I hope you guys will too. I'll be back tomorrow morning, and tomorrow morning we'll process the Trump rally and everything else that's going on in the news today and tonight and in the morning. So if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Everyone click the notification bell so you get a notification when I'll go live tomorrow morning processing the Trump rally tonight. And make sure you like the video too. And, you know, I live stream 7 days a week. And take live calls. We had some very good calls on the stream today. So I think everyone that called actually added a lot to the discussion, no doubt about that. So before you go, make sure you like the video. My name's Brian Craig.